What's up, guys? Stacy here from Becoming Financially Fit, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that hits close to home for me. And it's a question that I get a lot from my family and friends, and it's pretty much just why do I invest? It's something that I've thought about a couple times, but I kind of just want to get out in the world just to share with you guys. But before we get into the content, my channel is primarily about personal finance, financial literacy, savings, investing, and I also try to throw some entrepreneurship in there as well. So if you're interested in any of those topics and you want to see more content like that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the bell to be updated anytime I post new content. But now with that out of the way, let's get into the real specific as to why I invest. So just to get started, I started investing, I want to say sometime in high school. My dad kind of told me about the stock market a little bit. He started me out with an investment account with like TD Ameritrade or E-Trade or something like that, or Scottrade, one of the two. I think they've merged since, but it was just, go out, pick companies, and, see what happens. It wasn't really something where you could see, invest in this company because they pay X dividend or invest in this company because they're in this sector. What my dad just told me was that, hey, what do you love? What do you know? And what do you use? And that's something that stayed with me. So when I first started, I invested in a company like Nike because I knew that I have Nike shoes, I have Nike cleats, I'm a Nike athlete. When I went to college, like those are all things that I had. Or Chipotle or McDonald's. Those are all companies that, primarily the only reason why I invested in those companies is because I use them. And for a lot of beginner investors, that's something that you can start with. This, like I said, I started when I was in high school, and it was something that just kind of clicked to me because I was like, you know what? I'm spending my money for these things every day, every month, every season. Why shouldn't I invest in that company and become part owner of it to actually get some revenue coming in from the investment? It's pretty much just, you're owning a piece of the business. And I try to convey that message to my friends and family that, hey, they ask me, what should I invest in? What stock should I get? Or, how can I turn my $2,000 into $5,000 here in a couple months? And it's kind of hard to relay the message that, hey, you know what? If you were running a business and you were to invest $2,000 in your business, could you get $5,000 in 2 months? Probably not. It's going to take a little bit of time, effort, research, determination, and you're going to have to actually go into it with a plan. You can't just throw your money at any given stock because it's popular and think it's going to go up. You might get lucky here or now, but that's really not how it works. When you're going into these investments, you have to think about them as, I'm going to be investing in this business. And in order for me to invest in this business, I need to see exactly how they operate. So, for example, Nike, they make apparel, they make clothing, they do branding deals with different athletes, different public figures. McDonald's, they're in the real estate business. A lot of people don't know that they don't just make burgers, but their main generator is going to be in real estate. Chipotle, they're coming back. They have their whole online platform. And Chipotle was one of the innovators in that aspect because when they first started doing app and online ordering and you can go pick up and order ahead, nobody thought about that. But now when people can do it and they partner with DoorDash and you can get a Chipotle burrito right to your door, it's really changed the game. So just thinking about, when you're going into these investments, how can you invest in a business to not only one, either get some capital appreciation in the terms of stock price increasing from time point A to time point B, or get some dividends at the end of the day, which means that on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, semi-annual or annual basis, they're going to be paying you money. That's what it's all about. So like I said, if you do have some money to invest, and you're looking at yourself like, hey, what's the best company to invest in? Just take a look around and see, okay, do you have an Apple iPhone or do you have a Google iPhone? Do you have a MacBook or an HP or Microsoft, or what kind of shoes do you wear? Do you have Under Armour versus Nike? Like, these are all things that if you really just look around and see where you spent your money, that would make the entire difference. And you could probably build out a portfolio just by looking around what you actually have, maybe the car you drive, the phone you use, the internet service provider. All of those different things go into what investments you should start with, because at the end of the day, you're already spending your money on them on a consistent basis. So why not be an owner in that company? So getting back to, how I started getting into stocks. So that was, my high school. But then after that, I really didn't touch stocks until I got to college. And I really didn't know about the stock market, mutual funds, or anything like that. But I had a hunger for more, right? So I, went out. This was when I was at the U.S. Air Force Academy. I went to USAA, a huge bank out there in Colorado. They're also based in Southern Texas. And I went out there and I said, hey, you know what? I want to start up a mutual fund. I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me out? And they put my money, I think I had maybe a couple $100s. They put it into a mutual fund and I kept putting money in. I kept putting money in. I kept putting money in. And really, they kind of broke it down like this. A mutual fund or an index fund or an ETF, it's just a collection of a bunch of different either industries or companies that you can invest in. And if you only have a certain amount of money to invest in, instead of buying a Google, an Amazon, an Uber, things that'll probably cost you a couple $1,000s just to buy one share apiece, what you can do is you can invest into a share of a mutual fund, and that mutual fund will buy all those companies for you. So let's say 50% of those companies go up, 50% go down, you're going to be even. But let's say 3/4 go up and 25% go down, you're still going to be up. And you don't have that single stock exposure that a lot of people get into when they only have a certain amount of money and they say they put it all into a Chipotle or all into a Zoom Communications. Mutual funds spread out and diversify your portfolio for you. And the cool thing about mutual funds is there's different things about the mutual fund that you can pick. Let's say you only want to invest in large US-based companies, medium companies, small cap, technology focused, transportation, IT, new upcoming tech. These are all different types of mutual funds where you could say, hey, you know what? I have $100 a month that I want to invest in, and I want to put it in this mutual fund. And the cool thing about that is you can buy fractional shares in mutual funds. So if you want to put in 100 a month on a consistent basis or 200 a month every time you get paid, you can do that with a mutual fund. And there's a fund manager out there that his sole job is to manage your money. So you're getting that diversification. So if you wanted to do that, you could. And that's actually how I really started getting more and more into the investment track. So I did that throughout a little bit of college, and then towards the end of college, I kept doing that, kept finding new mutual funds to look at and put money into, and I just saved up. And it was at this point where I was going on sites like Investopedia, reading investment books, and just getting pretty much immersing myself into the investing world. And honestly, if you want to know the best investments for yourself, or you want to know which companies to invest in or which industries to invest in, you really just have to get into it. It doesn't matter what anyone says, unless you're actually going to take the effort to actually get into, a company's either 10K or their recent news history. You're really not going to know what they stand for, their management, what they're doing in the future. You really kind of just have to take the time, do research, even if it's only on one industry or a couple of companies. You just have to get into it, and believe me, if it's for you, you'll know it's for you. And if not, like I said, you can get into mutual funds. I love doing this. I have updates on my phone for certain companies. I watch CNBC. I'm immersed in this. And that's why I created this channel, because it's really my passion to get that out there. So now what I do is I created this because I want to get my passion into content form. I want to tell you guys about the companies I'm invested in, why I have a retirement 401k account, plus why I have my individual brokerage account, plus why I like real estate, and these other things, because at this point in my life, I've had experience with all of those different things, and I want to give you the knowledge. But that can't be where you stop. You have to take the next step in that journey and start to do some research for yourself. But that's kind of just how I got started in investing. And from my journey starting out in high school to where I am now, I wouldn't even call myself a sophisticated investor. I learn things every single day. I read books, I read articles. Like I said, I watch CNBC every day. I'm taking in as much knowledge as I can. And honestly, it's just helping me out every day. I'm not a perfect investor. I've made money at times. I've lost money at times. But honestly, the thing that I've seen over this entire time period, if you keep investing your money time and time and time again, and you just watch it grow, you'll start to make money and start to make gains off of one simple factor, and that factor is compound interest. And if you guys don't know about compound interest, that's pretty much, in the simplest terms, that's you making money on the money you've made from your initial investment. So for example, I put in $1 over the course of a year, that $1 makes me $5. Over the next year, now, not only do I get to gain from my initial $1 investment, but I get to gain from the $5 that I put in as well. So now I'm making money off the $6, and I only put in $1 to start. And you can see over time that starts to build. Compound interest, paramount. Second thing is time. The best time to start investing is yesterday. Believe me when I say this, time is in your favor when it comes to investing. If you were to combine time with compound interest and consistent investing time and time again, you're going to beat the market. I mean, that's just how it is. Compounding your money so it gains more money off of small and incremental investments. Just having the discipline to leave it in there when times are down, like a couple months ago, or when times are up, and to just keep putting in into dollar cost average over the course of time, you'll be better off than you were before. But guys, I don't want to make this too long. If you guys like the content I'm putting out, make sure you give this video a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. This was kind of a rant today, but I just kind of wanted to get that off my chest because investing for me, honestly, has been one of my lifelong, goals to get to a certain point. I'm not to where I want to be. I do want to have $1 million portfolio in the future, but I'm still working on it. So that's my trials and tribulations, how I started, how you guys should start. And honestly, the hardest part is the first step. So if you guys haven't started investing, I would say go out there, pick a stock, something you know, you love, and you use, and go ahead and get started on that investing journey. But if you guys like the content I'm putting out, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the bell to be updated anytime I post new content. See you guys soon.